Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Din and I'm going to show you how to prepare all your ingredients and mix your spices and then cook the dish. This video is not an ordinary video. I'm going to do a special video today because I'm going to cook a party meal for 25 people as it's my wife's birthday and we're going to celebrate. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to prepare for 25 people over a 3-day period where you can make your naans and also your chicken tikka, rice, meat curry and so on. All the recipes you'll find in the description so you too can create this feast for be it 4 people or 25 people, and if you do it over a 3-day period like I'm going to do, it's going to be a piece of cake. So give this a go and you'll see what I mean, because I've made it very simple. Like I've done a beef curry here, a vegetable curry here, and also some tikka, which basically I've marinated 2 days in advance, so everything's ready. And also naan I've made, which you can make on a tawa on top of a cooker. We're going to have dancing as well, and we're going to have some live entertainment. So this is something you should watch all the way through so you can have an understanding of cooking. This is my brother Musa, and he's come with his family on holiday and he's going to help me cook. It's good to have someone else. It makes life much easier. He used to be a chef himself. Well, he still is a chef, because once you're a chef, you're always a chef. So he's chopping up the onions. We're going to cook the meat curry today, and then tomorrow, when it's party day, we're going to cook the vegetable and the rice, and that's it. So we're going to cook the meat curry today and the onion bhajees half cooked, and then leave this in the fridge to basically cool down. And we all know that meat curry cooked a day before has much more flavour the following day. So let's begin. As you can see, we're going to cook this outside on this large burner I have, as you can see, and it'll make life much easier and much quicker. So I'm going to cook the meat curry here, and my brother's going to help me cook this one. Now, you may ask, how do you know the quantities that you will need for each person so you don't cook too much? Well, I have the quantities. As you can see, I buy my meat like this, a big piece, and I chop it up to the size I want. You can ask your butcher to do this, chop it up, or you can chop it up yourself. Now I've made it easier for you to understand that when you're cooking for 25 people and you're cooking different dishes, you won't actually need so much quantity of food. So this is my rough estimate what you will need per person. You would need probably about rice 60 gram per person, and meat, like for the meat curry, you'd probably need about 120 gram per person, and also chicken you need about 200 gram per person. And if you're making naan bread, you need roughly about 60 grams per person. And this way, basically, you won't have too much food left over. It'll probably all be finished by the time your guests have eaten. Right, let me see if I can explain to you how we began this process of cooking this meal for 25 people and making it very simple for us to do as well. We started this process over 3 days. On the first day, we marinated the chicken and put that in the fridge. That was done. So on the second day, basically we cook the meat curry and let that cool down and put that in the fridge, and job done. As you can see, we've cooked the onion bhajee pre-cooked and left those in the fridge, and then on the day of the party, we cooked the vegetable curry and also the pilau rice. We cooked the pilau rice about 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we was all going to eat at 6, so we could leave that in the oven and with the oven off, and that would keep it nice and hot for when we needed it. So that's how simple it is to cook this meal. Going on to naan bread, we have to make the dough 1 day before, always 1 day before, because the naan just won't puff up really well. So what I've done is made the dough a day before and just covered it with a little bit of oil and a damp cloth and put it in the fridge, and that's it. So this is the day after, on our party day. I'm getting the naan dough out, left it for a little while to get room temperature, and then we're going to make our balls. As you can see, you kind of make sure with your thumb, just kind of flip it and to make circular round, and then cover the whole thing with flour so it doesn't stick to the sides of the oven dough balls. And basically that's what you do to get them ready for making naans a bit later. So you do this in the morning, leave it out at room temperature for about 4 or 5 hours, and then an hour before you need your naans, you basically make them up then. What I'm doing now, as you can see, we're putting cling film. You can put cling film or plastic on top of your dough balls, and then you get yourself a tea towel, give it a good wet, and put this cloth over it so that the dough balls don't dry up or anything or form a crust on top. And that's it. You let it rest in room temperature for about 4 or 5 hours. Now, an hour before you start to get your naans ready, you start making them. And what I'm doing here, as you can see, I first place it in the flour, then a little bit of oil. What I've done is put a bit of oil on my hand, so when I go to put it in the tandoor, it doesn't stick to my hand, and my hand comes out very quickly, because the oven is very hot here. So you have to be careful not to burn your hand, and that's one of the reasons you saw me wetting my forearm so that all my hairs don't burn. So this is the way to do it. I'm going to use the tandoor and make 4 naans at a time in a circular motion, so that the temperature of the walls continue to be hot as I come along. Then I shall leave it once I've put the last naan in, and once I've taken them out, I should leave the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes before I start again this process. Now, to weigh to see if the naan is cooked, you look at the bottom of the naan, and as soon as you see a little bit browning at the bottom of the naan is ready. You can take it out. If you leave it a bit too long, what happens? It will start to burn at the bottom. So I will just show you this one. I've put 3 in. Once I put the 4th one in, you see that the first one has gone a bit too brown, and it's starting to burn. And remember, it's very hot, the oven, so you have to be very careful not to burn your hand. As you can see, it's just a little bit too burnt, but not to worry, we can just chop that bit off, and that naan is fine. So as you can see, as soon as you put the naans in, they will start to puff up, because the oven, the temperature must be over 350 and under 380 to get perfect naans. Like this one is just right, it's not burnt, and as you can see, it's nicely browning at the bottom, and naan's done. This is how easy it is. Now, if you haven't got a tandoor, don't worry. What we can use is a tawa or frying pan. Now, let the tawa or frying pan get really hot on the cooker, and then put your naan on top. Soon as it starts to puff up, put it straight under the grill. Remember to heat up your grill before you do this to the highest temperature, and then as soon as it puffs up and it goes brown, take it out, naan's ready. That's how simple it is to do. Now, once you've made your naan bread, and now you have to keep them warm for the party, so get yourself a metal tray, like a roasting tin or something, and then put inside the roasting tin a nice tea towel, and then put your naans on top of the tea towel, and then cover it again with another tea towel, and then cover it with foil, and then leave that in the oven on the lowest temperature just to keep it warm, and you'll find they'll stay nice and warm for when you need it. Now I'm going to cook the chicken tikka an hour before I need it. So the tikka itself takes about 15 minutes or so. So once you put the tikka in, don't touch it, leave it for 5 minutes, and then start turning every 5 minutes. And tikka's done, and we can put it on a tray and cover it with a foil, and that too you can leave in the oven to stay warm before you need it for your party. If you follow these type of instructions for your party, you find that you can enjoy your party without all the hassle of the cooking process. Because we spread it over 3 days, we've done a little bit on each day, therefore it's not too much work and you don't get exhausted cooking. So basically it's a more enjoyable way where you can enjoy the party as well yourself without thinking it's such a chore to do something like this, because if it's organized well, it's not a chore. As you can see, I'm turning it every 5 minutes. Leave the lid on a little bit to kind of contain the heat inside the oven. Now I've used roughly about 3 kilos first of charcoal to heat up about an hour before. Then I've made the naan breads and then put another 2 kilos and let that heat up before I started doing the chicken tikka. So basically I've used like 5 kilos of charcoal. Once you've done your tikka and this is the meat curry what's been sitting in the fridge, so that's ready. Now we're ready to basically get everything together. I'm using my grill to keep things hot as well as my oven, as you can see. This is for the pilau rice, which I'm going to cook in a minute, which will take about an hour. So the pilau rice I will cook about 4:30 because the party's going to start at 6 o'clock. Juliana's set all the tables really nice, as you can see, so we're all geared up. So to me it wasn't very difficult. I found it quite easy, and especially with the help of my brother as well. So there wasn't that much for us to do today, just the rice and the vegetables. And this is the rice, peas pilau, and this is my lovely beef curry and vegetable curry as well. So we got a nice spread here, and chicken tikka and naan bread. Everything's nice and warm. We have our friends, and now we're going to enjoy our party. We're going to have dancing, and we're going to have entertainment, and what more can we ask? So let's hope Juliana enjoys her birthday party with great food, great company, great entertainment and great friends. Isn't that nice? Thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon on my food videos.